Letitia James, the New York Attorney General, who's already under fire for alleged mortgage fraud and political witch hunts against Trump, is now going after local sheriffs for cooperating with ICE. Listen closely. Letitia James is investigating law enforcement not for breaking the law, but for helping the federal government do its job. I guess if you protect the border in New York, you're treated like a criminal. Welcome to Nelly Miranda. Before we get into this video, please make sure you like and subscribe as it really helps support the channel, and tap the notification bell so you never miss an update. So on June 11th, Letitia James sent a formal letter to Oswego County Sheriff Don Hilton. She demanded records going back to 2016, emails, phone logs, training sessions, even traffic stops involving ICE or Border Patrol. And what's the allegation? Official misconduct for possibly violating a Cuomo-era executive order that blocks local cops from working with federal immigration enforcement. So let me get this straight. The same AG who's been accused of falsifying mortgage documents for her own home is now weaponizing her office against elected sheriffs for helping to deport illegal criminals. What planet are we on? See, this is why the DOJ needs to hurry up and wrap Big Tish investigation up.
Thank you. Governor Hochul, on your first day in office, you signed Executive Order 1. Is that correct?
I believe it is.
And you extended this executive order not once, not twice, but 3 times, most recently January 16th this year. Is that correct?
If that's what your facts show, I signed countless executive orders.
I would assume you'd know it's
laws.
Executive Order 1. And this is a continuation of your predecessor's sanctuary state policies, correct? Is included in that.
I want to be sure we are defining sanctuary state properly.
I'll define it for you. It is the policy of the state that state officers or employees shall not disclose information to federal immigration authorities for the purpose of federal civil immigration enforcement. It goes on to say, law enforcement officers may not use resources, equipment, or personnel for the purpose of detecting and apprehending any individual suspected or wanted for violating a civil immigration office. Law enforcement officers have no authority in the state of New York to take any policy action solely because the person is an undocumented alien. That's a quote in your executive orders that you extended. Now, do you know who Sakir Akan is?
I want to get back to the first part.
No, I'm asking a question. Do you know who Sakir Akan is?
I want to make sure you understand that this simply says that we will cooperate with ICE.
No, it does not say that. I read what it says, and let me talk to you about the results. Do you know who Sakir Akan is? You should, as the governor of New York State.
This is about weaponizing the justice system and punishing cops for doing their jobs. Think about it. James isn't alleging police brutality. She's not citing any complaints from citizens. She's investigating these sheriffs simply for cooperating with federal immigration officials. That's it, nothing else. In 2017, then Governor Andrew Cuomo signed an executive order forbidding state agencies from aiding ICE without a court order. Letitia James is now trying to apply that order like it's criminal law, except sheriffs are locally elected, not state employees. They're not James' subordinates. They answer to voters. This is a legal stretch that smells like politics. Because let's not forget, Letitia James is already being investigated for alleged mortgage fraud involving falsified records and improper tax deductions. So while she's under federal scrutiny, she's turning around and going after sheriffs for cooperating with ICE under the Trump administration. Come on, give me a break. Remember when James ran for office and said, I look forward to going to the office every day, suing Donald Trump, and then going home. That's not justice. That's vengeance. And now she's dragging local law enforcement into her personal political crusade.
So let's talk about Sebastian Zepeda Khalil. Do you know who that is?
I don't have the specific details at my disposal, no.
Well, this is an illegal migrant in New York because of your sanctuary state policies. Do you know what crime he committed?
I'm not familiar at this moment.
I bet you're going to be familiar when I remind you. He found a sleeping woman on the subway, lit her on fire, and burned her alive. This is in Kathy Hochul's New York. And as I'm sure you are aware, and I'll remind you, that ICE issued an order to detain this violent criminal, but that was rejected by New York officials due to sanctuary state laws. Now, Do you know who Raymond Rojas Basilio is?
I just want to say this. These crimes are horrific.
Because of
condemn
your
them,
because of
and I
your
would say
sanctuary state policies.
In all of these cases, we would work with ICE to remove
You
them.
did not in this case. They are
They need
walking
our
on the
assistance.
streets because of your policies and your executive order that you signed 3 times.
You want to know what real public safety looks like? It's law enforcement officers working with ICE to deport MS-13 gang members, drug traffickers, and repeat violent offenders. But apparently, if they did that during the Trump years, they're now under investigation in New York. Let me ask you, how does that make New York or anyone anywhere in the U.S. safer? How does investigating sheriffs protect communities?
Scott, you have Secretary Noem and President Trump and our brave ICE enforcement officers who are working every single day to get these vicious criminals off of American streets. And then on the other hand, you have these activist judges who are happy to turn a blind eye to these crimes and get these people back on American soil.
Exactly. This is a political hit job masquerading as civil rights enforcement, and the timing is no coincidence. James was referred to the Department of Justice in April over serious mortgage fraud allegations. That referral came from Federal Housing Finance Agency, and it included direct documentation showing that she may have falsified records. Instead of answering those allegations, she's pivoting, distracting, going after Trump-era enforcement policies as if that's some kind of crime. Listen, I believe in oversight. If a sheriff abuses their power, they should be held accountable. But that's not what this is. This is retroactive punishment for obeying federal law during an administration Letitia James doesn't like. And if you're a sheriff watching this, the message is clear. Toe the progressive line or we'll come for you next. Yikes. And this is not just happening in Oswego. Sheriffs across upstate New York are reportedly reviewing their records and preparing legal defenses because they're worried James is coming for them next. When did enforcing federal immigration law become misconduct? We've got border chaos, sanctuary cities overwhelmed, crime on the rise, and instead of prosecuting criminals, New York's top law enforcement officer is busy trying to relitigate the Trump administration. Because for Letitia James, politics always come first. Not justice, not safety, not the rule of law, just power. And while we're on the topic of ICE, in one of the most dramatic political stunts we've seen during an election season, New York City Comptroller and current mayoral candidate Brad Lander was detained by ICE agents outside an immigration courtroom. Brad Lander linked arms with an illegal immigrant whose deportation case had just been dismissed, and he wound up getting handcuffed, detained, and taken away by federal agents. You really cannot make this stuff up.
Wait.
Guys, back up, guys. Back up. I understand you're pregnant, but I need you to back up. If you're interfering with this arrest, we're going to arrest. Back up, guys. Back up, guys.
This is not legal to take someone without a judicial warrant.
Please don't put him in the elevator and then claim you have the warrant.
You don't have a warrant for him.
I will let go when you show me the judicial warrant. Where is it?
So show it. So let us see it. So let us see it before you take his warrant.
Excuse me, please stay back. Take it back. Step back. Please, step back. Step back, guys. Step back.
U.S. citizens. You don't have the authority to arrest U.S. citizens. Please stay back. You don't have. I'm not obstructing. I'm standing right here in the hallway.
Step back, guys. You can take pictures, but please stay back.
To arrest U.S. citizens asking for a judicial warrant. Stay back, please. Stay back.
Press, we go too. Sorry. No way. I'm safe. Where are you taking him? Hello?
Since you have no authority to arrest U.S. citizens,
Where are you taking the controller?
and with what authority?
Why are you arresting the city controller and where are you taking him? No!
Number one's gonna go with him, all right? Hang on, please, number one. Hold on. Brett, that's his number one right here, all right?
After being detained for several hours, Brad Lander was released, but the story doesn't stop there. Federal prosecutors are reportedly still considering charges: obstruction, interfering with a federal agent, even assault. So let me ask you this. Should state officials be allowed to investigate local sheriffs for cooperating with ICE? And do you believe Letitia James is acting in the interest of civil rights, or is this just political retaliation? And do you think that what we saw from Brad Lander was political theater? Let me know in the comments, and if you believe law enforcement should enforce the law and not be punished for it, please make sure you like, share, and subscribe, and tap the notification bell so you never miss an update. Thanks so much for watching this video, and I'll see you next time.